Canadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Do more with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to any one of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
Good evening. This is Network News for Tuesday, November 1, 2022. In the headlines, Evan Smith's death and its implications for the criminal case. Charges yet to be laid on the accused in Monday's homicide in Beaton, St. David. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell reveals shocking claims during Government of Grenada's Town Hall meeting. In Around the Globe regionally, Tobago's inaugural Juve celebrations kicked off on the weekend. Internationally, South Korea police admit response was insufficient to Halloween crowd crush. Plus in the sports news, Wagiti Super Knockout Tournament reaches round of 16. Stay with us, we'll be back in a while.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
From Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. With the passing of Evan Smith on Sunday, what are the next steps to be pursued in his matter before the court? Beverly Telesford follows through with this report.
Evan Smith died and the criminal matter has seemingly died with him. That's the sentiment of attorney-at-law Derek Sylvester, representing the Smith family in the civil matter of the case involving the alleged physical attack on Smith in June 2020 by Sarah Horton and Donald Kavanagh. Sylvester says while the criminal matter is out of his hands, he believes it is extremely difficult to continue the matter following Evan Smith's death.
In relation to the criminal matter, of course, the prosecution department will handle that, because I do not have a fiat in relation to the criminal matter, so I'm not directly involved. But just by way of explanation, the mere fact that he has died, that would ultimately be the end of the criminal matter, because it would be extremely difficult to proceed with a matter wherein he cannot give evidence and there must be cross-examination, because the burden in these matters is are beyond a reasonable doubt. So, unfortunately, that will be the end of the criminal matter. That's my humble view, unless the prosecution decide to find some other trick in the hat, and I don't believe there is, because there would be some constitutional challenge in relation to fair trial pursuant to Section 8 of the Constitution.
Smith had 2 pending cases before the court, one a criminal matter and the other a civil case. Regarding the civil matter, after meeting with the wife of Evan Smith, Nicole Smith, on Tuesday, a decision was made to continue the matter with the wife as the substitute claimant.
In relation to the civil matter, that matter could be proceeded with. We would have to substitute the wife of Mr. Smith in his stead, pursuant to certain legal principles and certain applications application that has to be made before the court. So the civil matter would be proceeding with. Because the claim is already before the court for assault and battery and civil compensation, the matter is going to proceed in the same vein, save and except that now the claimant now would be different. So it is a principle in law called substitution of the parties. So we'll be substituting the wife in the place of Evan Smith.
In order for Evan Smith's statement to be brought before the civil court, an application must be filed to have it deemed as that of a deceased witness.
We should apply to the court for an application to dispense with his cross-examination and to tender his evidence without cross-examination. That application was filed on the 24th of October, 2022. Unfortunately, 6 days after he passed. So another application would have to be made to deem his evidence as that of a dead witness in the civil proceedings.
Evan Smith's funeral will be on Monday, the same day the civil matter is scheduled to be heard, with Nicole Smith as a substitute. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Charges are yet to be laid on the accused in Monday's homicide in Beaton St. David. Christina John has the latest update.
Godfrey Simeon is presently hospitalized and is likely to be charged on his release for the gruesome murder of Sharon Andrea Williams. Andrea was killed outside her home on Monday morning following an altercation between herself and Simeon, who allegedly beat her with a piece of wood before inflicting chop wounds to her body. Simeon subsequently fled the scene but was later discovered by police bleeding from injuries to his arm sustained during the incident. Another individual who attempted to rescue the victim also sustained injuries and a dislocated shoulder. According to reports, that individual received medical care and was released from hospital earlier today. Police await the results of a postmortem to determine the actual cause of death of Andrea Williams. However, initial observation of the body revealed significant blunt force trauma to her head. Police investigations are continuing. Christina John, GBN News.
This story to report the government of Grenada's town hall meeting at the Grenada Trade Center Annex erupted on Monday evening as Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell made some damning statements surrounding Faith Organization for People's Development, Inc. The shocking claims also involve a questionable application process linked to a prospective ambassador at large to Grenada. Gerard Joseph has this report.
Opposition Senator Nolan Cox, while appearing on GBN's To The Point program on Tuesday, is refuting any links to the purported payment of funds to the New National Party's South St. George office.
No, but I'm saying that they have not implicated my campaign in any way or myself. I think they said it's counting the name of the South St. George constituency office. So that is something that's a separate matter. Our campaign is not having any knowledge of such account or any dealings with such account. So
this issue is one of three major allegations made by Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, who hinted to mismanagement of funds by the former NNP administration. During the government of Grenada's town hall meeting on Monday evening, the Prime Minister stated that a gentleman of Polish origin apparently applied to be made an ambassador at large to Grenada.
That gentleman was told, and it appears that the then cabinet, agreed to appoint the gentleman as ambassador at large. He was told that in order to do so, he needed to pay US $290,000 to the state of Grenada. $150,000 was paid to the state of Grenada, and there's a treasury receipt for it. Another $140,000 was paid to the New National Party South St. George office.
Prime Minister Mitchell noted that just before the election in June 2022, $140,000 was paid to the New National Party's South St. George office.
We have the records. So since the cabinet conclusion said it was $290,000 to the state of Grenada, last time I checked, the Constitution does not establish the New National Party South St. George office as part of the state of Grenada. So my free advice now is that the new National Party South St. George office, or the new National Party for that matter, should kindly hand over to the state of Grenada the $140,000 that magically found its way into your bank account.
However, Senator Cox, who was the NNP candidate for St. George South, insists that he as well as his staff are not aware of such a transaction, citing that funding for his campaign was totally local.
Just last night I heard this, and I just quickly called a few persons and said, did you receive any such donation from overseas in such amount? And nobody. That is the situation at hand.
The Prime Minister told the gathering at the town hall meeting that the gentleman has requested for the return of his money.
The state of Grenada has no intention of paying back any money to anybody.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell reiterated that this case reflects trading in diplomacy or trading diplomatic passports.
This administration has put a stop to this. We will not do it. And it is wrong. It is as simple as that. And for a government, days before an election, to be suggesting to people that they could be made diplomats in the middle of an election campaign is ridiculous.
Yep.
And that is the kind of challenges that we've had to treat with.
The Prime Minister noted that the NDC administration is now facing an uphill task, even with the recall of diplomats.
Because the past administration have appointed people, quote unquote, as diplomats, who do not feel that they are accountable to the state of Grenada. They don't want to speak to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. They don't want to speak to the PS in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And if you give them a chance, they're even speaking to me as the Prime Minister. So the reality is, we will not accept that. We have no intention of appointing persons who do not wish to comply with our diplomatic principles, with our rules and regulations, and who do not wish to account to the people of Grenada.
This is Network News. Still to come from us, British Airways adds new flight to Grenada. We will talk about that. Stay with us.
Sunday, November 6th from 5 p.m. Get ready as Megaforce Promotion presents Christmas in November. And we're celebrating with a massive cash money bingo with a jackpot of $100,000 cash.
What's up?
$100,000 in raw cash. It's all happening at the National Stadium, Sunday, November 6th. And the best part, tickets are only $50. This is an event no one should miss. $100,000 cash up for grabs in Megaforce Promotions. Christmas in November. Mega Bingo.
My name is Robert Bristol. I'm the CEO of Bristol's Pest Caribbean, and Oasis Pet and Garden. I became a member of Ariza in 2016. What I like the most about Ariza Credit Union is the level of hospitality, to me the humility of the staff, and the willingness of the staff to communicate with you on a one-on-one level. Ariza have helped me over the years by trusting me in the beginning when I started my small business. They gave me my first vehicle loan and also a little bit of extra cash to help my first business to get started. And from ever since, they supported me by giving me little loans when I needed, or whether I used to get supplies or inventory. So they have been very helpful to my small business. I would like to take this time to congratulate Ariza Credit Union on their 75-year milestone of transforming so many Grenadian lives.
Yar, shiver me timbers. What's this? Free tile? Ooh, free tile? We've got to go capture this treasure. Full speed ahead. Yar, with prices like these, there's no need to plunder at all. Free tiles for Christmas is back at Island Style. Yo ho ho! Buy 100 tiles at the regular price, get up to 20 tiles absolutely free. Magnificent! Remember, when you think tile, think Island Style. Here, maybe I should tell my fellow pirate elf, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, I think he's busy fighting monsters these days.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sandy Manity.
Kenny's Trucking and Equipment Services Limited. Now introducing Portland King Cement, Grenada's toughest and most high-quality cement, engineered with you in mind. Whether it's residential or industrial construction, Portland King Cement has been tested to achieve profound results that you can trust. The choice is clear. Choose Portland King, tougher than the rest. Visit Kenny's Trucking and Equipment Services Limited on Dusty Highway. Call telephone number 439-6605 or 440-6605. Or visit our 2 other locations, Westerhall in St. David and Dunfermline in St. Andrew. Now available at Carrico Building Supplies. Telephone number 443-7015 or on mobile 403-1563.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LED. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Relax into the comforting scent of Beep Cotton Flower Air Freshener. Put the finishing touch on your personal sanctuary with Beep for a happy, healthy home.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Centre British Airways has added a new flight to Grenada as Tourism Awareness Month begins. We get more in this Beverly Telesford report.
The Grenada Tourism Authority announced that British Airways has added additional capacity to the tri-island state of Grenada, Carrico and Petit Martinique with a weekly Sunday service from London Gatwick via Antigua. To celebrate the additional flights, GTA hosted a small arrival ceremony at the VIP Government Lounge at the Morris Bishop International Airport with local stakeholders and the media. The additional flight provides welcome capacity to ensure those wanting to experience Grenada, Carrico and Petit Martinique will have ample opportunity to do so. This announcement was timely as Tourism Awareness Month begins today, November 1st. Tourism Minister Lennox Andrews spoke of the plans for the month.
The activities planned
are a continuation of actions taken on 27 September 2022 for our World Tourism Day observance, in which various stakeholders and the general public were allowed to highlight the what's next for tourism in our Tri-Island state. These conversations and engagements need to continue as we seek to further strengthen partnership with the private sector to ensure the sustainable development of the industry.
Minister Andrews expounded on the theme for this year, Together We All Can Transform Tourism, Let's Do Our Part, and added that the aim is to partner with the private sector to successfully capitalize on the tourism industry.
The month of activities will be spearheaded by the Ministry of Tourism and the Grenada Tourism Authority. The theme is Together We All Can Transform Tourism. Let's do our part. With this theme, we encourage every Grenadian to be mindful of our individual and collective responsibility in the enhancement and development of a sustainable tourism industry.
British Airways currently also operates flights to Grenada on Wednesdays and Saturdays via St. Lucia. Virgin Atlantic is also operating flights to Grenada from London, with 2 weekly flights via Barbados on Tuesdays and Saturdays through to October 29, 2022, and then Tuesdays on Fridays from November 1st, 2022. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Now, Education Minister David Andrew is pressing for both parents' involvement in the holistic development of their child or children. Christina John has the story.
The question is, are we as a society doing enough to create that favorable environment where our children's progress to maturity is healthy and vigorous to the point where they show a feeling of pleasure and satisfaction? The late great Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa, asserts, there can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children.
Was Minister for Education David Andrew. As Child Month 2022 concluded, the minister stressed on the importance of parental involvement in their children's lives.
For children to grow, glow, and flourish, there is need for structure facilitated by the creation of rules, regulations, guidelines, and expectations. We encourage all parents, guardians, and caregivers to ensure that those are features in the fabric of our children's lives. For children to grow, glow, and flourish, there is need for security, facilitated by a warm, stable family setting. Children need to have the security of having parents who are there and show they care. A strong, stable family will remain the best protective factor a child can have.
Reflecting on the Child Month theme, children's care and education matter, let children grow, glow, and flourish, Minister Andrew underscored the need for positive discipline, which reflects strengths and desired behaviors. He quoted statistics which reflected the number of sexual crimes committed against children for 2022.
Our society will need to do some soul searching, as statistics from the Royal Grenada Police Force, the RGPF, indicate that of the 123 reported cases of sexual crime for January to September 2022, 81 or 67% were against persons under the age of 16 years. The youngest victim was a 2-year-old female who was indecently assaulted. And there were 5 male victims under the number quoted above.
Fathers' involvement too are critical, he noted.
On this note, I address us as fathers. We are immensely more important in our children's lives, their growth and development, than we seem to be aware. We determine their sex at conception, and our presence and involvement make life better for them. Studies indicate that the absence of fathers make children more vulnerable and susceptible to social ills. Frederick Douglass, abolitionist and statesman, says, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Fathers, let us do our part.
The Education Minister expressed his gratitude to all stakeholders who contributed towards the sensitization of the process. Christina John, GBN News.
The death of Evan Smith before the two pending cases could be heard is what has been creating a buzz on social media.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
Evan Smith, the man at the center of an alleged physical attack by the couple in Fort Judy, St. David on June 2020 has died. Smith had two pending cases before the court, one a criminal matter and the other a civil case resulting from the alleged assault by Sarah Harton and Donald Kavanagh. Smith was accused of killing the couple's dog. The incident sparked outrage among citizens who took protest action seeking justice for Smith. 2 weeks ago, GBN reported that an application was filed for a waiver on the cross-examination of Evan Smith due to his failing health. Social media users took to the comment section to share their thoughts about the situation. The following views are that of members of the public and not of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Janelle said, "This is so sad. How can we uphold the law when our justice system is failing us so badly?" Kathy added, "My deepest condolences to his family and friends. I hope the justice system works to honor his memory and bring peace to his family. These individuals need to be held accountable for their actions. In my opinion, they need jail time and punitive damages. There is absolutely no reason to brutally assault someone in such an inhumane way." Albert added, "This is very heartbreaking that his day in court and he received no justice. What is the status of his assailants after such a brutal attack? I followed up on the initial assault, found it very distasteful that a Caribbean citizen has become a stranger in his own land. This case should have been top priority and a case management system should have been instituted. He is dead now, nothing can be done." This person added, "So sad to hear this. I hope he gets justice now. The law does not do us good as citizens in Grenada. We are second and third class in our own country, hence why most people take law into their own hands. Had it been another way, he would have been serving time in jail. God isn't sleeping. He will reward those who are wrong and those who didn't fight harder for justice accordingly and in his time." This person said, "It is unacceptable that he received no justice in his lifetime. Truly deplorable." That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Still ahead in network news, GUT President General cautions against new designs at schools.
Grenada, the time for the national census is here again. Interviewers will be visiting your homes to gather information about you and your family. The data you provide determines budget allocation for health, grant funding for community projects, and government assistance for families and the elderly. The census is required by law, and so is your participation. We assure you that your information will be kept confidential. Do your part. Stand up and be counted, because we all count in this census. For more information about the census and your participation, contact the Grenada Central Statistical Office at 440-1369 or cso@cso.gov.gd.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
from Courts Ready Cash. And you could be one of the lucky weekly winners of up to $20,000 in cash and prizes in the Courts Ready Cash Home Makeover Sweepstakes. Plus, for the grand prize, you could win the room of your dreams. Act now and visit your nearest Courts or Courts Ready Cash location, or apply online at readyfinancecaribbean.com. All you need is your job letter, government ID, payslip, a utility bill, and 2 references. And you will be on your way to making it the best Christmas ever. With Courts Ready Cash, we are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
This Friday and Saturday, the 12th annual Waggy Super Knockout is back. Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Friday the 4th from 7 p.m. Telescope Rising Stars versus Blast St. David's FC. And in Game 2, GTC St. George's Northeast Stars versus Fontenoy United. Then on Saturday from 7 p.m., another 2 games. Queen's Park Rangers versus Hard Rock SC. While FC Camahorn plays Flow Sunsetters Jr. in Game 2. Admission $20. The 12th annual Waggy Super Knockout is on. Don't miss a game.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love. Like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
The National Insurance Scheme continues to make it easy to access our services using the MyNIS online platform. Now we're introducing a new feature that allows you to submit your benefit claims from the convenience of your smart devices. No paper, no hassle. All you have to do is log in to my.nisgrenada.org. Select claims, fill out the relevant information, and click submit. We'll take it from there. It's that simple and that easy. Submit a claim from the comfort of your home as you rest and recuperate. Enjoy the convenience of faster claim processing and monitor the status of your claim every step of the way. We are excited to introduce this new feature to better serve you. NIS is changing the game and the way you make your claim. Access anywhere and anytime with MyNIS Online.
We're reporting the day's news. Several school projects are under construction across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. While President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, is welcoming the work being undertaken, he is expressing concern with the new designs for renovated schools across the nation.
We're asking the government of Grenada, the Ministry of Education, Communication and Works, and CDB and other banks that are involved in that to put in place and to make sure that they have the proper measurements and adequate space into consideration for education as you go forward, as the new administration say, going forward with education, because there is no, it doesn't make sense. You have a new building, you have a big a building there that looks nice, but the space is very narrow and limited.
Given the changes that came with the COVID-19 pandemic and other adjustments as part of a new normal, space within the classrooms was one of the concerns raised by the GUT President General.
In these new facilities when you're building, you need to give attention to all those things. And what we also observe in the new design, you're having new schools, but the buildings look good, but they are much smaller than the old buildings that you had before. And when you take into consideration COVID-19, the COVID-19 situation, and probably other disease and pandemic in the future, where you might have to have classroom space, the 6 feet, there is no way with the new designs of the modern buildings that they are putting down. They look good, but for classroom space and everything like that, so it is not there.
All right, so this evening's I Saw brings the curtains down on Child Month activities one day later. It rings so true to the Child Month theme of watching our children glow, grow, and flourish. It's time to take a peek through the GBN I Saw lens.
A good eye catches all. GBN I Saw is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Though Child Month ended yesterday, this entry could not be left behind. It's an entry for a poster competition held by the St. John's Anglican School in observance of Child Month. This creative piece was done by Omarian Paisali, a grade 2 student. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 4053052 or our other social media platforms.
We'll be back with the weather, followed by the sports news and around the globe. Stay with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building, and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money
level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy at first, becoming cloudy with light to moderate early morning showers and possible isolated thunder showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. Wind east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open water. Tides high at 7:46 p.m., low at 4:57 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:01. The weather on Wednesday, November 2, cloudy to overcast with showers, some of which may be heavy, and isolated thunder showers. On Thursday, November 3, cloudy with showers, some of which may be heavy, and possible isolated thunder showers. And on Friday, November 4, partly cloudy to cloudy and hazy with light to moderate showers. That's the weather. Good evening, sporting fans. Action in the round of 16 Wagiti Super Knockout Tournament is all set for this Friday. The first game will see Telescope Rising Stars play Blast St. David FC at 7 p.m, while Fontenoy United will come up against GTC St. George Northeast Stars in the late game. On Saturday, Hard Rock SC will lock horns with Queen's Park Rangers at 7 p.m. We can tell you the late fixture will see FC Camohon suit up against Flow Sunsetters Jr. The other matches will be on the weekend of November 12 and 13. $200,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs in the 12th edition of the tournament. The winner will walk away with $100,000 in cash. Moving to inter-secondary school football, we start with action in the Girls' Open Division, in which the Anglican High School and MacDonald College have topped the leaderboard in their respective zones. Anglican High lead Zone 2 with 3 points from their opening match, while MacDonald College have 6 points after 2 victories. Anaya Munro and Abigail Williams are the top goal scorers for MacDonald College thus far, with 6 and 5 goals respectively. The top goal scorer in Zone 2 is Azaria Stafford of Anglican High School. She has 4 goals. England earned a nerve-shredding 20-run win over New Zealand to reignite their hopes in the Men's T20 World Cup in Australia. England survived under intense pressure to successfully defend 179 at the Gabba. After being reduced to 28-2, the Black Caps looked to have swung the game in their favour when Glenn Phillips and Captain Kane Williamson combined for a stand of 91 from 59 balls. But with 61 runs needed from 31 balls, Ben Stokes provided the crucial breakthrough by dismissing Williamson for 40 from 40 balls. From there, England impressively turned the screw and held their nerve under a series of high catches. In the 18th over, the increasingly dependable Sam Curran had Phillips, who was dropped on 15 by Moeen Ali, caught at long on for 62 from 36 balls to end New Zealand's bid. Earlier, Joss Butler, who was reprieved by a TV review of a catch on 8 and dropped again on 40, hit 73 from 47 balls to lift his side to 179 for 6. He put on 81 for the opening wicket with Alex Hales, who made 52 from 40 balls. And although England did not fully capitalise, they go into the final round of matches with the advantage. They will qualify for the semi-finals if they beat Sri Lanka on Saturday, as long as Australia do not beat Afghanistan a day earlier and overturn England's significant net run rate advantage. Meanwhile, here at home, the start of the new school term has brought with it the excitement and expectations of a very active sporting year. That's according to Coordinator of Sports, Curlan Peters. He says the formulation of the country's sports policy, together with sports tourism, will also be among some of the highlights for the ministry's agenda items. The reconsultation continues this week on the sister isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. That's the sports news for now. From as early as 3 a.m., onlookers converged along the route in Crown Point to witness Tobago's Juve celebrations. Heralding the beginning of the reign of the Merry Monarch, the first of this kind for the island, Grenada was also part of the celebrations. The rest in this report.
And we outside, guys. It is Tobago Carnival. It is Juve down here at Crown Point. I am in the midst of the fog. It has begun. It's vibes upon vibes.
Ritual, revelry, release. The months of excitement in anticipation for this moment exploded onto the streets of Crown Point in all its colorful, muddy, paint and powdery glory. Under the watchful eyes of the Trinidad and Tobago Police and Regiment units, in the early hours of Saturday morning, masqueraders from an expected 16 bands took to the streets behind music trucks, dancing to the sounds of soca music. In a true mark of inclusivity, a Grenada contingent also took to the streets, bringing a bit of spice mass to the mix. TTT News also spoke with some masqueraders from the Juve band Fog Angels to share their Tobago Carnival experiences.
Feeling good at the moment. I'm feeling extremely. It's just a kind of feeling you can't explain, but it's wonderful. So really enjoying Fog Angels so far. The experience has been phenomenal. So the drink truck, the safety in terms of security, just guiding us along the route. Of course, the next 99.1 FM DJs mashing up the truck, mashing up the road. It's been fantastic so far.
Went to some of the parties and they were very well subscribed. And I'm here at the Juve today. Later I go up to Roxborough and then we see how Sunday goes.
It's the best Juve in the world. Miami, Labor Day, New York, they don't want nothing with Tobago, Juve.
Next year could only get better and better.
Ayana Carter, TTT News.
Well, following the arrival of some 132 black-belly sheep from Barbados on August 4, 2022, the remaining batches to make up the promised 1,000 sheep are expected to arrive in Guyana during the month of November. We get more in this report.
The remainder of a promised 1,000 black-belly sheep from Barbados should arrive in Guyana in November. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa told the newsroom on Monday that he is hopeful that all the remaining sheep will arrive at once.
Yes, hopefully all should come this month. Hopefully before the end of November.
So by the end of November?
The new month, by the end of November all should come.
The government has said that 30% of the imported sheep will be given to women, 20% will go to young people, and the differently abled are being included in rearing this livestock here. The 132 sheep that arrived in August had to be quarantined in Barbados, and on arrival, they were placed in quarantine at the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, GLDA, while they await the arrival of the remaining 868 sheep.
Remember, it's one set came in, and I am waiting to all come. Remember, it's 1,000 we have to have. And then the program will roll out, right? We can't roll it out part like that. So shortly we'll get all, and then we'll roll it out.
Minister Mustafa explained that while in quarantine, the sheep will be introduced to the country's conditions and feed. Once these sheep are distributed to the farmers, they are expected to undergo crossbreeding with the local sheep to create a new breed and further reduce the country's food import bill. The government, in its 2022 budget, has earmarked $28.7 billion to ensure the rapid growth and development of Guyana's agriculture sector. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Lazina Yearwood.
Further afield, South Korea moves to calm public outrage on Tuesday over a Halloween party crush that killed more than 150 people, most of them young, promising a speedy and intensive inquiry and calling for tough new safety measures to prevent similar disasters. The death toll from the crush at a crowded Halloween street party on Saturday climbed to 156. 151 others were injured, 29 of whom in serious condition. At least 26 citizens from 14 countries were among the dead. More in this report.
The first confession from the Korean authorities. There were failures in the response. And their remorse is as big as the death toll that continues to rise.
112 신고를 처리하는
We think that the police response to emergency calls was inadequate.
판단을 했습니다.
As a representative of the organisation, I feel heavy responsibility. I feel deep responsibility for public safety, and we will do our best to make sure that such a tragedy does not occur again.
최선을 다하겠습니다.
Festivals, concerts and other parties have been called off as the nation mourns those who lost their lives during the weekend festivities. An investigation has begun to determine how such large crowds ended up packing alleyways in one of Seoul's popular nighttime districts.
We did a joint examination of the scene with the police and National Forensic Service. We will prepare safety measures to prevent this kind of events from happening again.
Meanwhile, people have been laying flowers and leaving messages to the victims, many of whom were in their early 20s. Dozens of people are still severely injured.
The government and local authorities knew that people gather in Itaewon every year for Halloween. The fact that they didn't prepare for the festivities beforehand is upsetting.
Many lay the blame directly on the authorities. Seoul's City Hall uses phone data to measure crowds, but the system reportedly wasn't used on Saturday night.
We invite you to stay with us. We'll be back to remind you of the headlines. A reminder of the headlines: Evan Smith's death and its implications for the criminal case. Charges yet to be laid on the accused in Monday's homicide in Beaton St. David. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell reveals shocking claims during Government of Grenada's Town Hall meeting. In around the globe regionally, Tobago's inaugural Juve celebrations kicked off on the weekend. Internationally, South Korea police admit response was insufficient to Halloween crowd crush. Plus on the sports news, Wagiti Super Knockout Tournament reaches round of 16. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, our GBN television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. That's all from us in the newsroom. Thanks for joining us. Good night.